free. I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. Or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free. I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. Or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free. I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last.
All right, live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Friday night. Welcome to the program. Dish Network 2, I don't even know. Nothing is working in this place tonight. I am completely shut out of my computer. But welcome to the program, Dish Network channel 214, 219. What is it, Aaron? 219, 1147, I believe, in Samsung. 1175, whatever. If you're watching, you know where the hell you're watching on. Of course, it's a Friday night. Welcome to the show. Kevin Downey Jr. is here tonight. He's going to be joining us. Damon is in the building. He's just, Harry on the highway dragged him away for something. I don't know. He needed him to hold his hand. They were going out to the car. Who knows what's going on with Harry? Slick Rick is on the way as well on a Pizza Friday. Kevin Downey Jr., how are you tonight, my friend?
I'm groovy, thank you. I want to thank you for the pizza, the za, as we used to say in Detroit. In the A's, let's get some za, dude. Let's feel some za, man.
What the hell is that? Is that like a language?
Za when you were?
No, I never had the za.
Oh yeah,
never used that kind of terminology.
Feel the za, bro.
All right, I'll go with that.
Detroit pizza. There was no Detroit pizza when I was a kid. It was just pizza.
No, it was just pizza.
Yeah, now it's Detroit-style pizza.
Yeah, what is Detroit-style pizza? But we all know what New York-style pizza is. The big round, the big slice where you pick it up with your hand. You don't eat it with a fork. You don't eat it with a knife.
Right.
You eat it with your hands.
Yeah, so Detroit-style pizza is typically square. It's what some would call deep dish. And it's cooked a little different. There's probably more crust than people are used to. It's delicious. It's a buttery crust. Mm-hmm. It started, I think, at Buddy's Pizza. I got fired from that place, one of those places. Buscemi's is good. And Jets. If you're in the Detroit area, get some Jets Pizza and get some Coney Island hot dogs from National. That's what you want to eat there. Everything else, Those are the things you need. Go to the pasties up north. You go up north, you get the pasties or the pasties. I forget how they say it.
Gotcha.
Those youpers.
Hey, speaking of Detroit, good night for you last night, huh?
You know what? Every time I think they're going to lose. I thought they're going to lose on Thanksgiving, too. And that coach from Chicago, I guess he forgot he had a timeout or something. Yeah. So, I mean, I'll take it. I'm not I'm not picky. I'll take the cheap wins. But, yeah, another great game.
Yeah, and so we'll go over that when Slick gets in. The Odds Makers is coming up later tonight at 9:30. We do it each and every Friday. Aaron, do you know the name of our audience member who's going to be joining us tonight?
Funny you say that. We don't have an audience member joining us tonight.
And, of course, I'm fully prepared. So there's not going to be an audience member?
They never got back to me. I reached out a couple times. They didn't get back. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we don't have anyone tonight.
Yeah, should we have KDJ stand in again for the...
Yeah, I can do that.
Because he was quite terrible last time.
Yeah.
Picking...
That's okay.
He picked all his, local teams.
I just pick the teams I like.
We'll just have fun.
Crushed.
You know what, though? I know how to fake it. I can say, this team's going to come down to this. This game will come down to special teams. That's what I'm worried about. Or, let's see whose defense really shows up.
Yeah, that quarterback really knows how to throw the ball.
Yeah,
really.
He came to win.
That's a great take, Kev.
I can fake my way.
Let everybody know where they can find you if they want to follow you, follow your comedy, see your stylings, your writing stylings on PJ Media, of course.
Well, thank you. Yeah, you can hear my daily anti-commie radio show, the Kevin Downey Jr. Show. That's a clever name. It's on linewsradio.com. It's if you're here in Long Island, Eastern Long Island, it's 103.9 FM. So linewsradio.com. And I want to thank all of you viewers, all of you friends who have made your way over to the Kevin Downey Jr. Show. It's 9 to 11 a.m., Monday through Friday. Not a lot going on radio-wise then. All the bigwigs come in later. And you can check me out at pjmedia.com. Remember, the more you read, the more I drink. And I'm running low on bourbon. So, pjmedia.com. I got one today about the Daniel Penny case, which we're probably going to talk about.
We're definitely going to talk about it.
I'm a former New York City liberal. I know what that man is up against. I mean, I was never in the court, but he's up against a wall of woke. And he dodged the worst charge today. I shouldn't say he dodged it. He shouldn't be there at all. You know what I mean? But man, wait till you read this article and see just how bad the wokeness is. These liberals in New York City, they will woke themselves into extinction. And that is unfortunately what Daniel Penny is up against.
Yeah. So we'll cover that. We'll also cover the assassin. Now he's being dubbed the New York City assassin.
Yeah. You know what? I did a deep dive into the gun he used. It's
a
World War II era gun.
Really?
It was invented for British special ops.
Not exactly something that you might find the Jackal using.
There's only 225 or so in the nation. And he got one, and they're $8,000 if you want to buy one.
Right?
Are you going to like a grease dance afterwards?
I was going to say. The only thing that's tougher to find is another copy of that sweater.
Did you guys just talk about the Penny thing? Because what's going on?
We just touched the headline of it.
I mean, what's going on here with this judge? What the judge is trying to pull here is really disgusting.
Yeah.
Absolutely disgusting, and the jury probably doesn't even realize really what's going on here. So the judge basically says, "Well, we'll take this away from you since you're hung jury." Basically, it was what they're saying. They're basically saying they're hung on the manslaughter charge,
which was the big charge.
Which is the big charge. So the judge says, "Well, we'll get rid of it." But what the judge knows, and what the jury probably doesn't know, is by doing that, he's setting him up to get retried for it. You can get retried. And the judge knows this, and the jury probably does not know it. So the judge is basically trying to finagle his way and this jury into because he doesn't want the guy. Clearly, the judge does not want the guy to walk away.
Right.
So the judge is trying to basically finagle the lower charge guilty verdict because the jury's probably thinking, well, now he's off scot-free on the big one. The judge basically dismissed it from the No, that's not the case. He can be retried on the manslaughter by what the judge did today. And the judge knows it, and I would say most likely the jury does not know it.
I'm sure his lawyer knows it, though.
His lawyer objected to it today, but the jury was, of course, not in the room. Mm-hmm. So the judge is being real scummy here.
What
really underhanded.
New York City judge, a little scummy? No,
out of control. Judicial tyranny at its finest in New York City again.
Do you notice every time there's one of these highly political cases, let's say Trump's cases, Elon, as a Weisselberg, Alvin Bragg always gets him in front of one of his apparatchik judges every time. And I see it coming. And I wrote about it today, Big D. I was telling that it's a wall of woke this guy's against, and it's a sickness. And my fiance Jessica checked. He's still got $3 million in his Give Send Go or something. The good one, not the commie one.
Right.
So he's got the money to do it. But geez, I can't imagine that stress.
Yeah, and from what I understand, and this was a take from, I believe it was Kayleigh McEnany on Fox, saying that the description of, what reasonable people would do in that situation, they're trying to get that across to the jury about, what a reasonable person would have done or would have assumed or would have taken, from everything that was going on. And she made a great point that, while he was doing what he was doing, he was being supported by all the other people there on that train, who you would assume are reasonable people because none of them stepped in to try and stop him, thinking he was doing something wrong. Mm-hmm. So hopefully that plays to his favor, and that the jury can figure that part out. That all those other reasonable people let him do what he was doing because they thought that's what needed to be done.
I think you've got a judge and a prosecutor in cahoots here again, because if you look at this Daphne Yorin, who's the prosecutor.
Oh, my goodness, she's a disaster.
I mean, not only does she look the part, again, I don't know why, they always look the part, but Greg Price today. What the prosecutor is doing to Daniel Penny is absolutely nuts and borderline illegal. She moved to dismiss count 1, the manslaughter, which the judge agreed, because count 2, criminal negligent homicide, couldn't be considered if there was a verdict. So they're bending the law to try and squeeze a guilty verdict for somebody who saved people on a train. So again, what the judge is doing here is very underhanded, very he's trying to he knows the jury does not know that he can probably be retried. I don't think there's any jurors there that are going to be up on all of this who's sitting there. They're thinking, okay, that's gone. Okay, well, we'll give him. So the judge is trying to basically play games here to get something from a jury who doesn't know what they're doing.
Right.
It's absolute lawlessness in New York City today.
It's another version of lawfare. Right?
Yeah.
They're just trying to get they want the guilty verdict. I'm sorry, but we have to have a scalp. We need a scalp. We can't get Donald Trump. So let's get this guy.
Yep.
Because he probably voted for him.
And the prosecutor actually prosecuted a guy who he killed an elderly Asian man. He punched him out and killed him. And rather than send that guy to jail, she wants something called restorative justice. And I wrote about it today if you want to see it at PJ Media. Restorative justice just means there's a certain groups of people we're not going to put in jail.
Right.
And we're going to find out why they went and beat up that old Asian man and killed him.
Yeah, because of their background and the circumstances that led him to be homeless and come to this point where he has to kill an elderly man at an ATM. That's the excuse, because there was something 50 years ago or 20 years ago in this guy's life that was so horrible that this is the result of that. It's cumulative.
Yeah. The prosecutor, there's a real pinko out in San Francisco, and there are a lot of Asian people being beaten up and or murdered, and nothing was being done to those who are attacking them. It was the Chinese community in San Francisco that was the juice behind expelling that DA. They said, all right, if you're going to let this happen, we're going to take you out, and they did.
Good.
And I've got something later on. I think 21 Soros-funded DAs have been gone since 2022. Some of them got caught in some corruption, and the rest were voted out. People are waking up.
Yeah.
Andy McCarthy today in National Review, because I want people to understand what exactly is going on, because it's so underhanded by this judge. And he basically says that after 4 days and 30 hours of deliberation, the jurors have come back and said they're deadlocked. And now Alvin Bragg's strategy is basically tell the jury, well, never mind what we've told you now. Never mind that top charge. And the judge is now going to accommodate him. This Judge Wiley granted the DA's motion to dismiss count 1 as if it never had been in the case, as if the last 4 days had never happened, in order to have the jury move to count 2, which is criminally negligent homicide. Now, understand, the jurors were not supposed to consider count 2 unless they acquitted on count 1 for some reason other than acceptance of Penny's justification defense. Moreover, the case was not presented to the jury as a 1-count negligence case. It was presented for many weeks as a 2-count case with emphasis on recklessness. So that's why you see these murder cases, and they charge murder 1, murder 2, murder 3, and they just put it all on the table, and then they say, okay, well, we'll let the jury, they give them this plethora of things to decide.
Right.
So now the jury has said we're deadlocked, and the judge says, okay, let's take that away. That never was there. Let's start again. Go for this now. I mean, it's so ridiculous. All right, a little more on this, and we'll do some news. Kevin Downey Jr. Slick will be here to do some sports in a little bit. Odds makers coming up tonight. Live from Studio 6B on a Friday.
Did you guys cover that that final report on COVID?
No.
Oh, ouch! It's good.
That's why Fauci's getting a pardon. Chat, what's going on? Chat. Facebook, YouTube, X, Rumble, Getter. Who did I forget? Anybody? No.
Twitter?
X. I said X.
Oh, X. That's right.
Yes.
Keep forgetting they're X now.
X. What's going on? Hello, everyone. Hello, Damon. Stop yelling at me. I hate Mark Zuckerberg. Jeremy. Hello, Damon, Kevin, and Rick. Damon, who's going to step up? What? Who's going to step up and help someone now? Exactly. Nobody.
That's half the plan. Don't mess with their criminals.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, this Alvin Bragg put a Dominican man in jail for defending himself with a box cutter.
Right.
Yeah, the guy who owns the bodega, right?
Yep. And the attacker's girlfriend sliced him and was never even charged. She had a knife too.
Machine Gun Delgado, what's up? Charles Parker wants to know on Facebook. D on X says Damon and KDJ, love you, and you too, Delgado.
Yep.
Tim Nelson on YouTube, what's up?
You.
Lorraine on YouTube, not surprised, Big D, he should have never been charged in the first place. Well, that's for sure.
Yep.
Cat says, I'm also loving KDJ sweater, Grease sweater.
Thank you.
Boom, ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doo-da-doo-da-doo, da-doom, da-doom, ba-doom,
Sandy.
ba-doom. Mr. AZ Mikey, what's going on? Bucky's fan, what's up? Janice on Facebook, what's going on? Whoa. P1 Firefighter on YouTube, what's going on? Damon, how's Slick's dad? I have not heard from Slick today. I have not heard, so you'll get the update when I get the update, which is when he gets here. No, what even is that tonight? No,
it's going to be Monday. I had to do a complete scrapping of a script and then rewrite.
Really? Have you ever had to do that before?
Yeah, I've done it before.
Oh.
Usually that'll happen on a Wednesday, not on a Thursday.
All right, 17 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Rick Delgado's here doing the news. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. KDJ in the house. Kevin Downey Jr., host of the Kevin Downey Jr. Show, 9 to 11 weekdays. I always say W, but it's LI News Radio. 103.9 LI News Radio here on Long Island, right?
Yes, it is.
And online at linews.com.
LINewsradio.com.
LINewsradio.com. Check them out.
We've got one of those apps, too. There's a microphone. You can leave me
an app?
Yeah.
Oh. You guys.
Delgado, have you ever been on KDJ show?
Yes, I went
You
on.
have?
Yeah, about a
Slick's
year or so
been on,
ago.
right?
Yeah.
Slick's been on, yeah. Okay, good.
We should all come on. I should have the three of you on. That'd be. You've got that thing in the morning, though.
I haven't.
Oh, wow.
You've been
Aaron,
invited.
you've been on. Fran, you guys been on. Harry's probably been on. Everybody's been on.
Yeah, next week I'm going to go on.
Okay, you got
I'm
a book.
joking.
You got a date booked. I have not. I have not been on.
Hey, Big D, I know you're busy, but would you like to do my radio show?
Hey,
Stop by tomorrow.
Yes.
you're not on weekends, right?
No.
Okay. A little more from Andy McCarthy today on this disgraceful what's going on in this case, Daniel Penny. He said the prosecution should never have happened. We all know that. The case presents what is not even arguably more than a negligent question. Did Penny act unreasonably in holding the chokehold too long? This was not remotely a recklessness case where it could be said that Penny wantonly disregarded an obvious risk of death. There is evidence that Penny moved Neely into a position that would make breathing easier, waited for the police to come and fully cooperated with them, and did not even know Neely was dead when he voluntarily spoke to police and explained what happened. That he wasn't even trying to hurt Neely, just subdue him until police arrived. Others who were not charged joined Penny in restraining Neely. And the other passengers on the train told police that Neely's threatening words and menacing manner deeply had frightened them, and that Penny had been heroic in intervening. So what's going on here? Rather than bring a one-count criminally negligent homicide case, Bragg added a baseless recklessness charge to the indictment so the jury would have 2 counts, increasing the odds of conviction by giving the jury something to compromise on. That's exactly right, and that's what the judge is trying to underhandedly manipulate tonight. Instead of deciding negligence as the central question, that count was treated as a fallback position to the jurors to have something, anything to pin on Penny. They could feel good about convicting him of negligence, not because he was guilty, but because they had already acquitted him of the more severe recklessness charge. See, that's exactly it.
Right.
The jury is thinking, oh, okay, so he's off, so, oh, okay, now we have to consider this other thing. Well, that's just not fair. Now, after the jury could not find Penny guilty of recklessness after 4 days, and how disturbing is it that one or more jurors were apparently in favor of doing so, the judge is letting Bragg remove the recklessness count from the case. It'll go down as an acquittal for Penny on that charge, so he's no longer facing a potential 15-year prison term. For the jury, however, it makes the hard work of the last 4 days absolutely pointless. The judge has now dismissed the jury for the weekend, with the news that they must come back to court Monday morning to start from scratch, deliberating over count 2, negligent homicide. The potential term on that charge is up to 4 years imprisonment. The whole thing is an utter disgrace. And that's exactly right.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on in this case. Because I see a lot of people, oh, it was dismissed. No, it was not dismissed, and he can be retried on it. And he's still facing the 4 years on the lower charge if they come back. Now, let's hope the jury gets over the weekend. I don't know what the orders are to the jury or where they are, if they're just home and they're about their regular life or what. But, man, let's hope some of them wise up to what's going on here. Because this is pretty underhanded lawlessness by this judge.
It's what we've come to expect out of New York City, isn't it? Haven't we seen this before?
Yep. And you know what? That's why I don't go. It's not the crime. It's I might have to punch somebody. Then now I'm the guy.
Yeah.
I'm the guy in the booth.
All right, let's do some news. 21 past the hour. News is brought to you by Freedom Force Nutrition over at livefromstudio6b.com. Rick Delgado's got it. What's going on, Delgado?
All right. I don't know if you caught this, but things are crazy up in Canada. Something KDJ might know a little bit about. I know he's from. They're you could see them from your backyard, right?
Oh, absolutely. You know what? I got this wrong in a Trivial Pursuit. Name the only major American city north of the Canadian border. And I got it wrong.
Is it where you live?
It's Detroit, yeah.
Or where you used to live. Well,
yeah.
Things are, like I said, things are a little crazy in Canada. We know how tyrannical they were during the trucker protests, where they would debank people, go after them, take their license away, take their insurance away, debank them, and then threaten with taking their kids away, because you must be a bad parent if you're out here in a truck trying to disrupt the Canadian government. Well, now they've come up with something new, and improved, and now they're stealing guns. Yes, they've decided to outlaw a high number of guns, and they want to use those guns for a more pure purpose here. See if you can pick up what they're putting down here. Here's cut number 5, and Canada's announcing new gun restrictions and laws. Check this out.
Today, the government is adding a further 324 unique makes and models of assault-style firearms to the list of prohibited firearms in Canada.
Hey.
This prohibition takes effect immediately.
Hey.
This means these firearms can no longer be legally used, sold, or imported in Canada, and can only be transferred or transported under extremely limited circumstances. As part of that process, the government of Canada has committed to the Ukrainian government to identify whether some of these guns could be donated to support the fight for democracy in Ukraine.
Yeah, so there you have it. The benevolent Canadian government
That's sick.
doesn't have the as Kevin would say, demand stacks that we do to throw over and just dump into Ukraine. They're going a little. They're keeping it closer to home and saying, you know what, we're just going to steal our citizens' guns and send them over to you guys so you can use those to kill some Russians and North Koreans.
And you know what? I looked at the list. I went through them. Some of them are just little 22s, little plinkers. But they look like those big, scary assault weapons.
Right.
And they're all going 320. That's a lot.
If Trump had one, you could take out those Canadian flags and put the American flags back there. You would have been hearing speeches like that here.
Yeah, so there you have it, out of Canada. A lot of fun, and a lot of great stuff for the Canadian people to look forward to as Trudeau and his minions continue to kind of wield the hammer of power upon the Canadian people. And I don't know if you saw this, Pete Hegseth, of course, we saw a little bit the last couple days. He was back out again making another statement to the media. And making his case. And check this out. This is cut number 2 as he is standing firm in his bid to become the Secretary of Defense. Cut 2, go.
On the issue of alcohol. No, we've had great conversations about who I am and what I believe, and frankly, the man I am today, because of my faith in my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and my incredible wife, Jenny, right here. I'm a different man than I was years ago, and that's a redemption story that I think a lot of Americans appreciate, and I know from fellow vets that I've spent time with, they resonate with that as well. You fight, you go do tough things in tough places on behalf of your country, and sometimes that changes you a little bit. And by the grace of God and my Lord and Savior, I had an opportunity to come on up out of it and do great things with great veterans organizations that fought for vets, that fought for reform at the VA and for war fighters, and at the Fox News Channel, to advocate for those very same causes.
Yeah, so there you have it. Again, he is not going to back down, and we also have a cut. J.D. Vance came out for Pete Hegseth today as well. So we'll
Two most important video clips of the day are J.D. Vance in North Carolina saying it, and President Trump, the clip that was released from his upcoming interview with Meet the Depressed this weekend. So we'll play that as well. All right, live from Studio 6B, Slickster's in the house. We'll do some sports coming up when we get back. KDJ as well, right after this. Aaron, just let me know if the audio is coming through. Or if I have to reset. Okay. It is.
What's up, Slick News? Yeah, nobody had heard from you. So. Oh, okay. Oh, really? Yeah, he's not a sharer.
I wasn't here.
Well, that too.
President Trump cannot pardon Dan Penny. Someone just asked.
Yeah, because that's a state crime.
Yep. Who was it? I just saw it. It was Patriot Mary. No, I'm sorry. Cannot.
Of course it's good. It's Pizza Friday. Watch the mess Harry left for us to trip over. That's Harry.
Yeah.
Only like $1 or $2.
Yeah, maybe maybe 4. Really? Uh-oh.
Hey, do you want to play the Trump clip here? About Hegseth? Yeah.
Aaron, do we have an odds makers candidate tonight?
Hello, chat. Hello, chat. Hello, chat.
No. Okay.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
I will assist in the picking because he only picks losers.
Oh, good.
That's why you're his
That's what
friend,
the
right?
audience record needs. A week of you.
I would have been 3-1.
Look.
Go up a little bit. Go up. That's the bottom of it. There you go. Is that Kamala? Okay.
Hey, was your show on today, Kevin? I was listening to LI News Radio at like 11 something, like 12 o'clock.
Oh, I'm off at 11.
What are you?
I can't get.
All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Friday, Pizza Friday night. Slick Rick's here. He's going to do some sports. Rick Delgado's here. KDJ in the house. Aaron and Fran holding it down. Harry on the highway in the house as well. So we were talking about, you have the clip of J.D. Vance.
Yes.
J.D. Vance was out in North Carolina today looking at, he was blasting FEMA as well, but he was out there in North Carolina talking to residents there who are still trying to put their life back together. And he had some time in front of the microphone. We haven't heard too much from either J.D. Vance or, a little bit more from President Trump, but really not that much from J.D. Vance. And Pete Hegseth name came up. And of course, we've been harping on that Pete Hegseth has to be the line in the sand, because if you back out on him, it's going to be you're going to be at war with these people. They're going after everybody and every policy and everything.
Yeah,
because they're going to be emboldened. All right, so why don't you want to take it from here and play the clip of?
It's Vice President-elect, of course, J.D. Vance, offering his public show of support for Pete Hegseth. And again, from where am I reading this from? The AP, which of course they say Pete Hegseth the embattled choice. They got to dress it up. To let you know that, he's in trouble. The embattled choice to lead the Defense Department. And according to J.D. Vance, who was talking to reporters on a tour of Western North Carolina today, here is what he had to say. This is cut number 3 with J.D. Vance. Check this out.
Pete Hegseth is going to get his appearing before the Senate Armed Services Committee, not a sham hearing before the American media. We believe that Pete Hegseth is the right guy to lead the Department of Defense. That's why President Trump nominated him. We're not abandoning this nomination. We're not going to make it easy for people to allow them. Our Secretary of Defense is Donald J. Trump, who just won an election by a very significant consent of the United States Senate. That's who determines who the Secretary of Defense is. I fully support Pete. I think Pete's going to get confirmed, and we are completely behind him. I have talked to Joni. I've talked to a number of my colleagues about this nomination and about other nominations. All I'm asking is that people actually allow the Senate process to work. We do not determine important government officials based on anonymous sourcing from the American media. We determine who our officials are through the nomination process, the advice and consent process of the United States Senate. That's how it should happen, and that's how the president's nominees are going to work through this process.
Yeah. So there he is with his words in support of Pete Hegseth. Like you said, Damon, also President-elect Donald Trump offered a public show of support as well today, correct?
He did. They released a little, I guess, a couple of clips from his upcoming Meet the Press exclusive interview with Kristen Welker, which some of us question why he does these. But, someone sent me, I think, an email saying, Damon, the reason he does these is because it's the field of battle for him. He likes to go into these battles, and this is why he does them. He wants to spar. He needs to spar with these people, and that's what he's going to do. Okay. I wouldn't do it, but here's the clip of that, talking about Pete Hegseth.
It looks like Pete is doing well now. I mean, people were a little bit concerned. He's a young guy with a tremendous track record, actually. He went to Princeton and went to Harvard. He was a good student at both, but he loves the military, and I think people are starting to see it. So we'll be working on his nomination along with a lot of others.
Since you bring him up, do you still have confidence in Pete Hegseth?
Yes, I do. I really do. He's a very smart guy. I've known him through Fox, but I've known him for a long time. And he's basically a military guy. I mean, every time I talk to him, all he wants to talk about is the military. He's a military guy.
Yeah. And this is just what we've debated for, a couple days now.
Yeah.
Does the president need to get out and get in front of this? And today you had both the vice president and the president now.
That was nice.
Get out there and say something about Pete in support of him. And the president, I believe also, I think I tweeted this earlier in the day, I think he put out a statement as well. He did. He said on Truth today, Pete Hegseth is doing very well. His support is strong and deep, much more so than the fake news would have you believe. He was a great student, Princeton, Harvard educated with a military state of mind. He will be a fantastic, high-energy Secretary of Defense, one who leads with charisma and skill. Pete is a winner, and there's nothing that can be done to change that. So exactly what we were hoping for. And
we've been talking about it for a few days earlier this week that, these guys, Trump and some high-level people need to come out. We need to hear them, and the American people need to see them supporting Pete Hegseth.
Yeah, and we know what Joni Ernst and Lindsey Graham are trying to do. Joni Ernst puts out another lame, 2-3 hours ago, she puts out another tweet. Me and Pete have agreed to, what are we all holding our breath here for what you, what are we talking about here? Who cares what you've agreed to? We're not sitting here holding our breath for you. These statements she keeps putting out are just laughable. You should worry about where you're going to be in 2 years, what you're doing, because it won't be this.
Yeah, I think she needs to go. I've seen some videos recently throughout the day today with her unwavering support of sending as much money and military equipment to Ukraine without even a thought. She doesn't even think that, well, maybe we should rethink this. Do they have a plan? Is there some type of strategy to make sure that there's a winning outcome? None of that. She doesn't care about that. She met with Zelensky, and boy, she really likes him. So, we should just be bent over taking it and sending him anything he wants, anything he needs, anything he wants, because it's all evil Russian and Putin over there. Meanwhile, it's the CIA that's kind of led us down this road.
She's down with the trans stuff in the military too. She's down with a lot of that, and she's down with spending. And it's why, if you had to make a list of what the Republicans need to make a list of who needs to be primaried, she'd be at the top. She'd be at the top. Right under her would be McConnell. Right under him would be Collins, Murkowski. Put them together. Right under them would be Tom Tillis in North Carolina. Lara Trump wants to run. Forget Florida. How about running North Carolina, your home state? That's where you could be effective. Forget Rubio's seat. Go get rid of Tom Tillis, Lindsey Graham, Bill Cassidy. Get rid of all of them. They all need significant, real constitutional conservative challengers. All of them. Thune included. Oh, he was made the leader, Damon. So what? He still needs to be primaried. He's a disaster. All of them who stood behind McConnell all these years. Silent. While the frozen turtle stood there and froze up. Silent. They all need to go. Every one of them. That's the list. Start there.
Yeah. And there's a clip. This is the one I was thinking of. Nick Sorter put it out on X. And it says, Joni Ernst says, Americans will suffer unless we give Zelensky everything he wants. She includes, she wants MiGs sent over there. She thinks we should be sending them MiGs. Last I checked, the American military, I don't think we build MiGs, do we?
No, we shoot them down.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought we shoot them down with F-15s, F-18s, F-55, whatever we have. It starts with an F, Joni Ernst. And maybe the two words for you, maybe would start with that too, is forget it. How about that?
Sean Davis put this out today, and it's exactly right. Here's your test of the day. Find the difference between these two. Good luck. You won't find much.
Yowza.
You won't find much difference.
Yeah, she needs to go. She needs to be primaried, especially for that haircut. She's got to go.
Yeah, it's changed over the years, but yes. All right, 39 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Let's do some sports. Let's welcome in the Slickster. Slickster, first of all, how are you?
I'm doing good, Big Day.
Any update for us in the audience tonight?
Yeah, he's my dad's really not doing too well, so we're not sure. We got news today that he may not be able to speak again, so we're obviously concerned about that. And the right-hand side, because it was the left part of the brain that created the issue with the stroke, the right-hand side is not moving. So we're praying, we're holding out hope. We were there most of the day today with my mom, my sister, myself, and it's going to be an interesting weekend. It's kind of a wait and see. That's what the neurologist said. They have to see the bleeding has stopped. They want to see how everything kind of settles. But it's not looking great, unfortunately. That's the reality of it, and we're trying to come to grips with that and see what the long plan will be. But we'll know more. But thank you for asking. Thank you for the tremendous amount of love and prayers in the chat, and keep those prayers coming. We're going to need them. Our family will need them. And, hey, I spoke to somebody earlier tonight. They said they had a friend that was in his 80s that had 2 strokes. And when he went in for the second one, it was very bad. He was unresponsive, similar to my dad. And the gentleman pulled out, and he's doing great. And he was older than my dad, and he's doing as great as you can be after 2 strokes. But he's doing well. So we're hoping for prayers. And listen, that's all you can do right now. So thank you for asking and just trying to get through the day.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're all gonna pray as hard as we can for Dad over the weekend. So, you want to do sports, or you want to just hang with us?
No, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the code to use if you shop at MyPillow. Slickster, what's going on?
All right, Big D. Well, a couple things going on. Well, Monday Night Football there last night, which was actually Thursday Night Football, right? TNF. We had the Detroit Lions, Green Bay Packers. Great game, but the spread was 3.5, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Or was it 3? What'd you call?
It was 3.
All right, so it was a push. Then it was a push because I saw 3.5 on the line.
What did I say to you when we were walking out after the show?
You said the game's going to end. There's no way Detroit wins this by more than 3, and you called it on the head. He's like, Big D's like, emphatically like, no way, like death and taxes, this game was not going to be more than 3 points. Boy, those odds makers are incredible, aren't they?
They sure are.
That's why they make the money they make.
They don't give free money away in Vegas usually.
No, I'd love to get in the back room of that one.
That's why when it looks too easy, you might want to go the other way.
Yep, but either way, it was a push because we ended up right at 3, and Green Bay and Detroit, that was a tie game, so great stuff. And we have an odds makers coming up tonight, but we have a stand-in, right? The audience is not going to be on tonight?
Yeah, I guess whoever was picked for this week as, I don't know, maybe a little... I don't know, screen fright, Aaron, you think it was? Or what do you, well, it doesn't matter. So we'll fill in. Kevin Downey Jr. and Rick are going to team up as one.
Whoa, okay.
So the audience's record, whatever it is now, suspect it's going to get much worse before Monday.
So. Who knows? You never know. They might surprise us, these two.
Hey, between the both of us, we have half a brain.
Aaron doesn't know about that. I heard that, Aaron. Good stuff. All right, let's get to, we have a lot of time. Let's get to some scores anyway, Big D. Right now, NCAA men's basketball, we got West Virginia 55-46 over Georgetown. Georgetown. 7:54 to go in the second half there. And coming up at 9 p.m. tip, Northwestern is hosting number 19, Illinois. NHL action on the ice up in Toronto. Caps and Maple Leafs tied at 1 minute to go there in the second. End of 2, we have the Kraken and the Devils tied at 2 in New Jersey. We got at the Garden, big game tonight, Penguins and Rangers, right? Former rivals. 13 to go in the second period. No score, goaltenders duel right now. We got the Blue Jackets, Canucks, Stars, Golden Knight, and Wild and Ducks all coming up at 10 p.m. Puck drops just a little over an hour for those fans that are interested in that. NBA, we got the Sixers over the Magic in Philly. 55-47, 6 to go there in the third. At the half, Lakers and Hawks tied at 64 in the lock there. The Bucks over the Celtics, 57-53 up in Boston in the TD Garden. That's also at the half. 39-38 Pacers, Bulls over the Pacers. And then we have the Kings trailing the Spurs 40-39, 9:20 to go there in a second. And I got a story about Randy Moss. Apparently he has some serious health issues as well. He's stepping away from ESPN. I'll get on that the next sports segment. Thank you, Big.
All right, Kevin Downey Jr.'s got some thoughts on some things. We'll do that. Plus more news with Delgado coming up live from Studio 6B on a Pizza Friday night.
Gnome bird. That's a good one. I like
There's nobody like you.
I like it.
LFS 6B is the gnome. Damon, we love you, gnome, no matter what.
No, we hate that.
Which one?
Go with
Chat, which one?
I like gnome place like home.
How about I ran into a guy.
What you think they'll got a gnome place like home?
Yeah, I think that's what.
There's nobody like you.
How about Mike from Carvel? He takes care of Big D and his ice cream gnomes.
There's gnome place like Vegas. Is that what you said?
Big D likes vanilla ice cream gnome. We get this one with rainbow colored sprinkles. Read Big D.
There's nobody like you.
Yeah.
Which one do you like?
Go with that. I like them all.
Big D likes some rainbow colored sprinkles. I heard it.
Nobody does it better than LFS 6B.
Oh my God, he's still reading.
Wasn't that a Cawley's?
Damon, you're out gnome bird.
Wasn't that a Cawley silent song?
Okay,
Spy Who Loved Me? Nobody does it better.
That's the one. All right, now can we see this my shot or not? You need to see it. Yeah, that's right.
No, we can't see that. You got to put it in front of you.
That big.
You can't see anything with your gigantic cranium. Howdy, Rumblers. I'm having computer problems. So
right there.
Oh, now, yeah, we can see right through you.
All right, chat. It's like right on my shoulder. There we go. Don't screw it up. Here we go.
Frederick Leathers, how long have you two been married?
Too long.
Delgado's computer has more viruses than a third world country.
Yeah, what is with the... give me that computer. I'll fix it.
I don't know. I keep trying all the little...
Is it charged?
Of course it's charged. I plug it in.
Well, the crap he looks up. You see the crap he looks up? Forget it. No wonder why.
I look over. He's working off his phone.
I'm working on my phone.
That's what I do.
That's what Slick does.
There's no budget for a laptop for me.
No. Can we
I have a laptop at home.
Can we start a GoFundMe for...
No, I have one at home. I'm not bringing
with Delgado's...
Delgado, yeah. home service.
All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Friday night. Pizza Friday night.
Keep it up. I'm going to go gnome.
Pizza's good.
Pizza's good,
That's
yeah.
really good.
Very good.
Slick's here, doing sports. Rick Delgado's here. He's going to do the news. KDJ, Kevin Downey Jr. is here. He's got some thoughts coming up right now. And Aaron and Fran holding it down, as always. Harry on the highway, doing something around the building. I don't know. Making a mess of what he looks like. Tearing the studio apart. Finally throwing the things out from 1930 that are here, which is good.
He's been here since noon and started that at 6:30, just to let you know.
He what?
He's been here since noon and started that at 6:30.
He's been here since noon and only started tearing the thing apart at 6:30?
Yes.
Well, what did he do for 6.5 hours?
I guess he was on the phone in his office. I didn't hear much.
Okay,
He was doing Harry stuff.
He's busy.
It was funny, too, because Aaron was out here, kind of rearranging some of the stuff in the studio, checking the cameras, and all of a sudden it sounded like Harry fell off a ladder in the other room and took down three or four things with him. And we're like, Harry, you okay? He's like, I'm fine.
Oh, boy. All right. Danny Zuko's here, and he's got some thoughts on some things. Let's go over KDJ. What's going on?
Well, great news, Big D. Thanks for asking. Look at this. Well, someone's been listening to the Kevin Downey Jr. show. It looks like the Crucial Communism Teaching Act has just passed the House today. The 327 patriots against 62 pinkos who voted against it. Rep. Maria Elvira Salazar, she's from Florida. She's a good guy. She writes, communism was one of the most destructive political ideologies that the world has ever seen. And then she goes on to say how bad it is and why we have to start teaching just how bad it is. Well, it turns out almost half of Gen Z thinks it's a good thing. And here's Rep. Danny Burgess, and he comes out and he goes, half of Gen Z says students were unaware that Chinese communists, they're responsible for more deaths than Nazi Germany. That's true, and that's not even counting the people killed by the Soviets. And then, of course, you got Ceausescu in Romania, and we could do this all day. And it says, look at this. He writes, he said more than a quarter of Generation Z, sorry, I said 50%, a quarter, believe communism is a good thing. And 20% thinks it's better than the system we have now. So, and I'll be honest, I graduated high school in 83. No one, I knew communists were bad because I was reading war books, but the communists never came up in the history books at all. That was back in 83. And I never thought it was a good thing, but look at this. 25% think communism is good. How did that happen? Well, I'll tell you. Thanks for asking, KDJ. Sure, go, KDJ. What do you got? They took over the school board. They went first at the colleges, then they took over the school board, and now they're teaching people that communism is good, capitalism's unfair. And there's this clown stain. He's from Bobby Scott, Democrat from Virginia. He says, well, this bill is narrowly tailored and did not address the important issues such as achievement gaps and affordable education. Well, you know what? I believe Ted Knight said it best when he said, the world needs ditch diggers too. All right. Now, we're not all going to be rock stars. I didn't go to college. Look how well I'm doing with my 2005 Mazda Tribute. All right. So, yeah, this is a great day. I hate that 62 pinkos voted against this. That's sick. But it's overwhelming. And now maybe we can just get the word out that communism is evil.
Yeah. Last I heard it was.
Yeah.
And it's amazing, you're right, that that kids don't realize, that they're not taught about how much death has come at the hands of communists when they take power. And they always couch it in, we're going to be so benevolent, we're going to take care of the people, you're going to love us, blah, blah, blah. And as soon as somebody goes, hey, wait, we don't like that, all of a sudden that person disappears.
Yeah, and their family.
Yeah.
Their family can disappear.
And any dissent gets crushed.
Yep.
Because that's the way the only way communism works is when everybody shuts up.
Yeah.
What else, KDJ?
I got a lot of stuff. Thanks.
Keep it rolling.
Check this out. You know what? Let's do this. The final House report on all things COVID. Wow, a major clown slap to the people who were censoring us. Look at, you know what? You guys know anyone who said that the virus came from a lab? Did any of you guys say that? And you guys say, oh yeah. And you were censored.
There was a bunch of things. We had a bunch of theories like this doesn't seem to make sense.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, we were banned from all social media.
Right. Yep, everything we said. And I wasn't even with you guys. Lockdowns are a joke. Mask mandates are a joke. Social distancing, a joke. Vaccine mandates were not based on sound science. Well, no, science. It was based on making money. Is what it was based on. And natural immunity, well, it does work, just like we said. And the racist travel ban, Trump said, we're not going to go to China. They called him a racist. They said that was one of the best ideas, and it saved a lot of lives. Keep in mind, folks, you're on a list of some sort with the feds because you went on Twitter or X, whatever you call it, and said, hey, I think Fauci's lying. But everything we believe came true, all of it. Now, they are saying that they believe the vaccine did save some lives. Those lives, very likely, people who had 4 or more comorbidities. I can never say that word. And you know who really gets clown slap here is the World Health Organization. They're run by communists. We know what they were doing. And everything here is what we've been saying, either on TV or on the radio or on social media. Everything is now we see it. We were right.
Yeah. And what's crazy too, and I remember when that whole thing came out because we were having a lot of debates about it. It was basically the only thing we talked about because it was just all it just encompassed everything. It affected every part of society, everything you did, and it was amazing how all of a sudden it was like, oh, you can't go to a doctor for a second opinion. What do you mean you can't go for a second opinion?
And here's the fun part. This comes out, and what happens 2 days later? A bunch of pinkos are saying, hey, maybe we need pardons for Fauci. Maybe we need pardons for everybody. Because they were all in on it.
Yeah.
Every one of them. Ivermectin works. All right. It takes just over 2 days off of your COVID illness. It works. And remember what they said? Who was the late night guy? Said something about horse goo. He had his little joke about if you got vaccinated, you can see a doctor. But not you, Wheezy, sucking down horse paste. See you later.
Yeah.
Ivermectin works, but they're not making money off of it. So they pushed the clot shot.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, more with KDJ coming up. Let's do a little sports before we hit the top of the hour. And here with that is Slick Rick Emirati. Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell. Slickster, what's going on?
All right, well, last night, I talked about those Loyola players that was snubbed, of course, Sister Jean, rather, for fist bump. Yeah, well, they straightened out a little bit here. I remember I said we got to give them a beating, which I was a little...
I was just going to say, I think what you didn't
I was a little rough, I know. But I
maybe they heard it.
I walked it back.
Think they were watching the show last night, maybe?
They might have been because, boy, they snapped into place big time.
I'm still down with it, though.
Yeah, all right, okay. Well, Loyola players make amends with Sister Jean for fist bump diss in hilarious fashion. Dylan Gwynn of Breitbart, so there's a good end to this story. The Loyola Chicago men's basketball team committed a grave basketball sin, and they did, when they neglected to fist bump Sister Jean after their win on Tuesday. On Thursday, it was time to atone for their grievous error, which they did in hilarious fashion. The controversy started with the Ramblers' 76-54 victory over Eastern Michigan. Cameras caught Loyola players making their way off the floor where they passed by team chaplain and college basketball celebrity Sister Jean, who was waiting with a fist extended to dap the victorious team. However, at least 2 players didn't fist bump Sister Jean. Cameras caught the diss, and outraged social media users voiced their concern. The players would face the music or the whistle, to be exact, at Thursday's practice when a whistle-equipped Sister Jean put them through sprints. And you better believe she got her fist bumps and hugs at the end. She made those boys run in Big D. They made them run all over the place. And now that the painful fist bump episode is over, the Ramblers can get back to what they do best, winning. Loyola is currently 7-0 on a run on the young season and plays South Florida on Saturday. Should Sister Jean not receive her fist bump, it's safe to say more sprints will follow. See? So they didn't beat him, but they ran him, Big D. They ran him.
That's great.
That's great.
Sister Jane with the whistle.
I love her.
Come on, boys, run.
105 years old. God bless her.
Looks damn good for 105, too, by the way.
Not bad.
Live from Studio 6B, back hour 2 coming up. see it.
I don't think they
Put this up, Aaron. This is the.
They made it the story.
This is the original. This is the original.
Open, and this team's got scores, able to put the ball in the basket, and we saw it today.
Oh no, he
look at to the right. He didn't even see it.
Yeah, but still.
No, and the other guy, they both something got them.
You're going to find someone open, and this team's.
If I had a rubber hose, I would beat. Sorry.
Yeah, it was a little rough there last night. These college kids need to get smacked around.
Yeah.
Can't say that anymore, right?
All right, let me jump into the chat. Let me try the Twix chat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
McCartney, too, on X says Kevin Sweater is badass.
Whoa, thank you.
You know what that sweater?
I agree.
He just happens to be 132 years old.
That sweater, it is nice. I like the colors, but it reminds me of like Howard Johnson's. Remember Howard Johnson's?
Or you know what?
Or
like
that game board.
Like a 1970s motel.
Oh yeah.
Like a really nice motel because of the kind of the star thing.
I was thinking a rundown bowling alley.
Yes.
Yes.
Every
Bolorama.
Every piece of furniture in my apartment is from 1958 to 1963.
Wow.
That's the newest from 1963.
Were you going for a theme?
Yeah.
You're older than me.
Yeah, my apartment looks like I bought everything at George Jetson's garage sale. And that's not an accident.
Have you seen this picture of Joe Biden? Holy
With the hair?
Yes.
Yeah. Somebody ran it through the filter on Snapchat that makes you look 100 years older. It even looks worse.
Oof.
Poor Joe.
Man, this COVID report, I'm glad it's out, but it just steams my clams the way they just came after everybody.
Oh,
it's sick.
Please. Don't start with the COVID again. We're already seeing all the push for the shots and the clot shots, and please leave me alone with that.
If the shenanigans being pulled by the DA and the judge in the Daniel Perry trial are allowed, I wouldn't blame people for never trusting the justice system again. A judge should not be able to scheme with the prosecution on how to break precedent to ensure a guilty verdict. Boy, you're so right. Just crazy what they're doing here, this kid.
On which one? Oh, yeah. No, I can.
All right, hour 2, 9 p.m. live from Studio 6B on a Friday night. Glad you're in. Slick's doing sports. Delgado's got the news. KDJ's here. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. Lots to talk about in hour 2. We talked about the Daniel Penny travesty that's going on in New York City in hour 1 a little bit. I see this, and again, I don't know that this is true, but of course, reading it certainly makes sense because we were just talking about this guy being on the list of who needs to be primaried. Republican Senator Tom Tillis from North Carolina is threatening to vote no on all Trump national security nominees unless they promise to support the war in Ukraine.
All right, he's got to go.
Yeah.
And I don't know who this person is, so who knows if this is true. But the problem is you can't dismiss it out of hand when you read that. You're more likely to go, well, of course that's his position. And that, of course, is the problem.
He must have a lot of lobbyists. Money from military contractors. He's got to make sure that he lives up to his part of the deal, or else they might want that back. Can they do that? Do lobbyists go to senators like, hey, we paid you for an outcome, we didn't get the outcome? Can they demand their money back? Is that something they can do?
It's a good question. I don't have an answer for you.
And like, how do you do that? I mean, and if it were to come up, Like all of a sudden, one of these guys gets on there. It's like, look, we supported you here, there. We finance your campaign. Nothing that you said you would do for us has come to pass. We want that money back. Would that really shake this guy up? Like, uh-oh, because now the news is going to run with this, right? You would think this is a story that should be talked about. Like lobbyists are demanding cash back from Tom Tillis because, and you can run with this headline. I don't care. I'm just making it up. But Tom Tillis has to give back all lobbyist money because he won't come through with his part of the deal.
I don't think it works that way, but I don't know.
Well, then what happens? He doesn't just get to keep the money, right? If he doesn't produce, this is part of the problem with government. He's part of the government, and the government you're supposed to produce. Now, he's being paid by us. He's not producing. We should be able to take him out, right? Recall him, fire him, do whatever you have to do, but get him out of office. Same for the lobbyists. Hey, they spent a good chunk of money, couple $1 million financing this guy's campaign. If he can't come through, why shouldn't they be allowed to say, hey, we want a flag on this play. This guy promised us all this stuff, and he ain't coming through. We would like our $10 million back, Tom Tillis. Can they do that? What?
Where are they going to get the money from?
What do you mean? He's got the money. He already took the money.
Well, they've already spent it.
On what?
Getting him in office. What do you mean?
Yeah, but now he's in office, and now, you know what? He's going to have to pay it back with interest.
I would be all
Good luck with that. Let me know.
I'd be all for a law like that.
Let me know how it goes.
And while we're at it, let's take his congressional salary and all his benefits.
Sure.
You should leave. Go home. Yeah. Nobody wants you now.
Anything else you want to throw in there?
Yeah. Let's see what else. Any of his family got jobs? They got to go too.
Sure. Last night we ended the show because I had just seen it with that Obama clip.
Yeah.
Boy, did that blow up overnight.
Didn't it?
Yeah. This morning.
Holy moly, yeah. It was all over the place. I was like, wow. And that's one of the things I love doing this show so late is that a lot of times we get stuff first.
Yeah.
It's true.
I mean, it's unbelievable, that clip. That clip is one of the richest clips.
Classic.
When you think about what what it takes to get up there and say that, and you could see him catch himself. Like, I don't know if it was in the prompter.
No.
And he was really thinking about it as he was seeing it, going, God, how do I say this? This is exactly what we've done.
Whoa.
But they have no shame. They just have no shame, any of them. They don't care. They'll tell you they'll tell you the sky's orange, and while you're standing there looking at it, and they'll just tell you you're wrong. It ain't blue. It's orange, man. What the hell are you looking at?
It reminds me of that Chris Rock joke where he says your neighbors will steal your stuff and go, "You got robbed?"
Yeah, exactly.
What happened?
I mean, the nerve of these people. This guy. The issue is, and of course, you can tell, and it's a beautiful thing to see. You can tell that he knows that his weight and power and ability and the size of his voice is diminishing at a rapid pace.
Yeah.
And has already declined rapidly and continues to go down.
Yeah. I think a lot of that has to do with social media. I mean, you see these people that might identify with his racial background coming out against him all over the place. And I'm sorry, but those things get a lot of views and you get a lot of positive reactions from other people. And it's almost like, and I think I mentioned this once before, there's a video that Dan Bongino plays all the time. It says it only takes that second person to join the wacko dancing. Because once that second and third person join, all of a sudden everybody feels like, oh, it's okay. We can all do this. And it's like the Trump thing. It's like once a few celebrities said, you know what? I think I'm gonna support. I'm not gonna be voting for Joe Biden. I think I'm gonna support President Trump. As soon as you saw some sports celebrities and some other celebrities come out, it would almost took the weight of the pressure. Like, oh, okay, good. I'm not the only one.
Yeah,
I can now enjoy myself.
Right.
Let's do this. So I think that's what you're seeing from former Obama voters. That they're just like, this guy was even Charlemagne the God.
Yeah.
He was like, even he was taking shots at Obama.
Yeah. The magic's over. He doesn't have that sway.
He doesn't have that Clinton-esque je ne sais quoi, as they say.
Yeah, he definitely does not have the voice or the pull that he used to have. He looks old. He looks. I mean, but that specific clip is just, boy, that is, put that one in the Louvre, man. That thing is. Oof. All right, let's do some news. News is brought to you by Freedom Force Nutrition. And here with that is Rick Delgado. What's going on?
All right. Well, there's so much going on. As they say on a Friday night, an exclusive Daily Mail poll, believe it or not, found that Joe Biden was less impressive than even Jimmy Carter. Yes, Joe Biden probably will go down as the worst president in recent modern American history. Of course, he was voted out. Jimmy Carter was after a single term, after presiding over double-digit inflation and botched effort to rescue American hostages in Iran. The poll that they ran also makes him worse in voters' minds than Richard Nixon, who was forced to resign rather than face impeachment over the devastating Watergate scandals. Yet when over 1,000 registered voters were asked to rank the last 9 presidents in order, the best to worst, Biden came in at the very bottom of the table, making him the worst in the last 47 years.
Wow, that says a lot.
Yeah. Some 44% placed him as one of the worst 2, while only 14% placed him in the top 2. Giving him a net score of 30 points, being 30 points underwater.
Right.
So
they got Jimmy in there.
Should be 100.
Yeah.
They can't let Jimmy go. Jimmy.
So
Carter.
just amazing. And again, this is a story I found in the Daily Mail. A devastating verdict for Joe Biden and his time in office as president of the United States. Jumping over to the.
Can I ask you guys a question? I don't know if you talked about this before I sat down. Are you guys surprised we have, especially with that picture from the check-in at the hostel or whatever was it called, the hostel? Is that where he checked in?
Yeah.
Who?
The killer,
the shooter.
Oh, the shooter.
Are you guys surprised we don't know who this guy is yet?
Yeah,
I am, but I think they'll have him by the weekend.
KDJ.
I heard they have a name. They said they haven't found him yet. They don't think he's in New York City anymore.
No, yeah.
I find it amazing that this guy has been able to get away with it in a town full of cameras.
I'm just saying that based on the one clear picture. I mean, does it take more than that for facial recognition to come up with this guy? That picture seems fairly clear enough. When he checked in and he was flirting with the girl behind the counter, she says, "Take down your mask so I can see you," and he does and smiles at her. That's not enough.
I'm sure they're on him. They probably just may not have made the media. Too. I'm sure they're on this.
I mean,
they got to be.
I don't know if you guys have seen this. There's a lot of. I mean, we've been bantering around a lot of theories. I did not banter around this one. This is a former Maryland police sergeant investigator who was on CNN. Listen to this theory.
Do you think that they know who he is? You think that they have his identity?
It's a good chance. It's a very good possibility with these new photographs that he has that they already know who he is. Mm-hmm. It's a very good chance of that. But I want to say something else that I know these criminal investigators are looking into as it relates to motive. There have been times when people have orchestrated their own demise for certain reasons. We know that there are some, and I'm not saying this is the case. But as an investigator,
like for insurance purposes?
Absolutely, insurance purposes. Maybe they fear some type of investigation down the road. Maybe they want to leave their family in a good light. But there have been cases where people have orchestrated their own demise. And here's another reason.
And just to say, you're saying in a nice language, you're saying that it is a possibility.
It is a possibility
that he hired somebody to kill him.
Absolutely, it cannot be ignored. And this is what is really digging at me as a former criminal investigator. This guy knew too much about where he was going to be at a specific time. There's no evidence that I've seen of him, when you look at the timeline of him coming to that area outside of the Hilton and where he was outside of the Hilton, it's a very small window. Very small window. It's not like he was roaming around. Mm-hmm. We have video of him roaming around, going from one door to the next, trying to figure out where he's going to be at a specific time.
He knew.
He was there. He was laying in wait. Who would have that specific type of information? as to what sidewalk he was going to be on.
Okay.
Where he's going in.
Wow. Well, that's
saying.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way a criminal investigator's mind works,
how
and
your
it's
mind
important.
works.
It's important. Shimon,
Yeah, that was one of the things. I think I was attributing it to maybe somebody that he was married to.
Yeah.
Again, just a theory. Wasn't saying it was the wife that he hasn't been living with lately.
Yeah.
But again, it narrows it down because again, how do you know this guy is going to be right there at 6:40 in the morning?
Yep. 2 hours, 15 minutes before his speech is due.
Right.
And now here's a sick twist. That gun is $8,000. We talked about that earlier.
And rare.
Very rare. The last time they checked, folks, if you're into guns, and I used to be, I lost all mine in a tragic boating accident on Lake Gitchagumi when the gales of November came early. But before that,
it was a machine gun boat.
I was really into guns, and I lost them all. I was in a dinghy, and it just...
What lake was that?
Lake Gitchagumi.
Oh, yes.
And the gales of November came early.
Yeah.
And,
known for its tragic tides.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And so what happened, that gun is a very rare weapon that was created for British Special Ops. And so remember we thought the gun jammed? It didn't jam.
It didn't jam.
That's the way it was meant to work. And I have a video. It's so quiet. You know, everyone says, it's not a silencer, it's a suppressor. No, not on that gun. All you hear is, it's very quiet.
Well, I heard some ammunition guys today saying that they think that he may have messed with the bullets, took some of the powder out to be able to get them to be subsonic, even though they still cracked, but not as, I don't know. There was all kinds of crazy stuff around.
Some story.
All right, back from Lake Jagui right after this, 13 past the hour.
Say,
and
Dad,
a musty old hole in Detroit.
Yeah.
All that was left was the names of the wives, the sons, and the daughters.
We'd hear that and say, Dad, you got to...
That song is unbelievable, right? Fellas, it's too rough to feed you.
Yeah.
It comes out, fellas, it's been good to know you.
Yeah.
The lyrics in that song. Well, that was Gordon Lightfoot, whatever he was, man.
They'd play that.
Just passed about a year ago, right? Gordon Lightfoot,
That would come on, and we, as kids, we'd be creeped out and say, Dad, you got to play My Dingling by Chuck Berry. Lighten it up.
That was some song. Oh, my God.
Why don't you plug your computer in? Big D, super chat. Rebecca on YouTube says. All right, let me go to YouTube.
Mr. Delgado, what is your email? I don't think I have it.
You don't have it?
Let me check.
YouTube.
I'll text it to you.
Super chat.
Oh, yeah.
Child of the King.
Oh, wait, I got it.
Flowers and pizza for the boys. Special prayers for your dad, Slick Rick. I have been praying since I heard. God has this.
Child of the King is incredible. What an incredible viewer.
She joined me on the morning show not too long ago.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow. Oh, yeah, you can mention that. She was very
Next time I'm going to be out, she's going to host. And then no one will ever want me back. I can tell you that for sure.
Well, that's happened before.
Well, that happens every night.
I know everyone X is dying to know that you have 2 reads tonight.
Oh, come on, friend. Chat, do something about this.
What are we doing the Ozmakers in 7? Like usual?
Yeah.
Can you play that on a piano? Yeah, you can. Yeah, sure you can.
I don't know.
What is that?
Oh, that was, you know what that was? That was from our Arizona iced tea fridge. Those are the things that the drinks were all slid into.
Yeah, that was another.
It's now in my backyard.
Is it?
Yeah. We saw it. Remember when we were there 5 years ago? Yeah.
There's still some of the Arizonas in the storage unit if you want it.
Sound like the blues on a Friday night. I got to read something, but I have no idea what it is.
Sounds like the blanks.
Let me talk to you about our friends over at Birch Gold. For those of us holding our breath for the past several months, we can now exhale. Work can finally be done on the major issues the country is facing, one of the most significant being, of course, the national debt. The fact is, our nation is broke, and that debt is a house of cards that can't quickly be dismantled. So the strategy for you remains the same. Diversify your savings. That's why you got to look at buying gold from Birch Gold. So many things are out of your control, out of the president's control. It's important to have a safe haven for your savings. Birch Gold, well, that's the gold company you need to look at. They'll help you convert an IRA or 401k into an IRA in physical gold. And the best part is it won't cost you a penny out of pocket. Text America to 989898. Get your free information kit. Plus, right now, through Black Friday, you'll receive a free 1-ounce Silver Eagle. Well, Black Friday's passed, so this has got to be wrong. For every $5,000 purchase, protect your savings with Birch Gold. Text America to 989898 and claim your free eligibility for free silver today. That's Birch Gold. Text America to 989898 for free information kit on gold. Claim your eligibility for free silver on your purchase, but you must do this by December 20th. Text America to the number 989898 for peace of mind that will last longer than 4 years. And again, that's by December 20th. Simply convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA. Birch Gold will send you free silver coins directly to your home. Let me talk to you about our friends over at My Patriot Supply. We're all feeling pretty good about where the country's headed right now, but you're saying it's AMAC? Okay, I don't see that. I see My Patriot Supply. Hey, Donald Trump has done it again with his presidential victory and a red wave sweeping the House and Senate. Conservatives are back in the driver's seat. But as the fight to restore America begins, now is not the time to get complacent. You have the chance to be part of this movement, not just as a voter, but as a member of a powerful organization that takes its marching orders directly from you. That, of course, is AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens. AMAC is the conservatives' alternative to the AARP. They stand for truth, family, freedom. They're fighting for values that make America great. Join AMAC today for just $1 for your first year. That's right, just $1, but don't wait. The special offer ends December 31st. Donald Trump is building his team, and you can be a part of it. Join AMAC today. Help us continue to fight for a brighter, freer future. Visit amac.us/Studio 6B, amac.us/Studio 6B now to claim your $1 membership and make your voice heard. That's amac.us/Studio 6B. Together, we can keep the momentum going. Go to amac.us/Studio 6B today. $1 for your first year. Boy, that is a ridiculous deal.
That is.
All right, live from Studio 6B on a Friday night. Let's do some sports here with that. Brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the promo code to use. Is Slickster. Slick Rick, what's going on?
All right, big deal. Well, the odds makers coming up in the next segment, and I'll give you scores at the end of the night there if we have time. But let's get to this story. Hall of Famer Randy Moss steps away from ESPN to battle health issues. This is Dylan Gwynn of Breitbart. Hall of Famer Randy Moss is taking extended time away from his duties on ESPN's Sunday NFL Countdown to battle an undisclosed illness. The network network reports. In a statement posted to X on Friday, ESPN announced that the star analyst would miss extended time to focus on a personal health challenge. Morse briefly addressed the matter at the start of the show on December 1st. For nearly a decade, Randy has been an invaluable member of the team, consistently elevating Countdown with his insight and passion. He has ESPN's full support, and we look forward to welcoming him back when he is ready, the statement read. During last week's episode of Sunday Night NFL Countdown, Morse announced at the beginning of the show that he was battling something, but he did not disclose the illness. I mean, obviously, nor does he have to. Randy Moss, absolutely one of the greatest receivers of the 90s and the late 90s, and obviously he's in the Hall of Fame, so one of the all-time greats. So we wish him well. I know he brings a lot of insight. He made my life miserable many Sundays with the Vikings, ruining my Cowboys Sundays, but I have to respect that man. He's a hell of a player. Cowboys passed him in the draft. I'll never forget that. In 98, they should have picked him, and they did not, and I paid the price along with the Dallas Cowboys, but we wish Randy Moss, the great Randy Moss, a speedy recovery. NBA games return to China after 5 years of effective ban by communist leaders. Warner Todd Houston. Well, what do you know? The NBA is going to be back on TV in China. Probably nobody cares, but I'm going to run the story anyway. The NBA will play 2 preseason games in China 5 years after an effective ban was placed on them by communist leaders of that oppressed state. Chinese government officials yanked the games after Houston's Rockets GM Daryl Morey, who's now with the Sixers, expressed support for Hong Kong's pro-democracy protesters. The Brooklyn Nets and Phoenix Suns are scheduled to play 2 preseason games in Red China after communist officials relented and reinstated the NBA's lucrative multi-million-dollar broadcast deal. You know, NBA is a big deal over in China. They love the NBA, especially you'll always love what you can't get. So we'll see if it continues to have that kind of infamy. But I'm sure they're still making those sneakers, right? With the Uyghurs and all that goes there. I'm sure that still goes on, although they keep it light and on the DL. But I know Nike had quite a deal over there. So very interesting. But, yep, NBA back on in China. I don't think anybody watching really cares, but it is a story in Breitbart. I had to run that. And I'll come back with scores. We're going to have a lot of sports coming up. So, Big D, I'm going to throw it back to you.
All right, Slick, very good. Let's do some news with Kevin Downey Jr. He's the host of the Kevin Downey Jr. Show. KDJ, what's going on?
Well, thank you, Big D. I got a couple of updates from last night. Remember I said there was a school shooting? Some animal had to shoot 2 kindergarten kids. They wouldn't tell us who it was or what the motivation was. We know now the motivation is Gaza. It's Gaza. It's the oppression of the Gazans by Israel. So he had to shoot some kids, and they knew what it was because he put a note on him. He said, I did it because of Gaza. So he's shooting little kids at a Christian school. No one knows what the Seventh-day Adventists have to do with Hamas or anything, but this guy decided that was the way to go. The kids are still with us, thank God. This guy, he gave up the ghost. He ate a bullet and he's gone, so we don't have to worry about him anymore. And a little update on Elon Musk. He said 6% of federal employees were showing up every day, and now he clarifies that's security guards and maintenance. You take them out, it's closer to 1% of the federal employees. Keep in mind, folks, the federal government is the largest employer in the nation, and 1% are showing up 40 hours a week. So we got that. A couple of updates I want to throw at you. Look at this. You know what? This really steams my clams. So this is just Marxism as it goes. California's lost more than 4,000 fast food jobs since they went to $20 per hour. And remember, here's what I love about Pinkos. We hate the corporations. They make too much money. Give us more. Okay, well, here's your $20 and you're fired. There you go. And now that was always the plan. Keep in mind, folks, Marxism hates capitalism. This was never about helping people. Never. Tyranny comes disguised as virtue. This was meant to gut as many jobs as they could. So there you go, 4,000 jobs. And keep in mind, and this is actually sad, who's doing fast food work? It's the elderly, it's the high school kids, and it's people in the middle who are just between jobs, and they've got to feed their kids. But this is not an accident. This is an on purpose. This is what was supposed to happen. Now, here's what's coming to our future if we don't straighten up. As you guys, okay, I'll do this really quickly. So a guy said, hey, in Germany, said, what's with all these jihadis killing people? And he got stabbed for saying that. And now he's recovered and he's been fined. He's been fined $3,800, 3,600 euros for saying those words. And they got him stabbed. Now they fined him for saying that because he's a hater. He's a hater. And Mr. Sturzenberger just had to pay a fine after he got stabbed by a jihadi daddy.
All right, odds makers coming up. More from Kevin Downey Jr., more from Rick Delgado. News before we wrap it up. But we'll do an odds makers of a week, I believe, 13 in the NFL. Coming up right after this.
Those reads by heart. GRH 4345.
Guy sends me too many emails. I can't keep them straight.
Yeah, well, that's the problem.
Pull up the wrong one. It's the wrong week.
He did send like 3 today for next week.
No, you sent too many clips.
Crazy.
That's another story.
Shut up. All straight.
We're gonna split them.
How many are we doing?
4?
4?
I'll do 2. He'll do 2.
Right? Aaron, 4, right?
He'll do 2?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so you have 2?
Yeah. I have one right now. I'll have one in 2 seconds.
I'll have one at 10 o'clock. Okay,
I have one on Monday. Was it?
Hey, Jay. Hey, it's Jay Oliver. I'm coming down for the menorah. Hey, you guys are doing a great job. How's Harry Oates doing? Oh, you know Jay Oliver? He does he's on your network.
Yeah. You think this guy hired someone to kill him? I can't. Not the way he was walking.
That I can't.
Could
That's
you
a tough
imagine
one.
this not know? Like, did he know?
I was trying to think that. The guy's walking in a blue sports jacket. I'm going to get hammered in the head. Who lives like that?
Crazy.
But he
It's
had
like
security
suicide.
he didn't bring with him.
Yeah, he had security. He didn't bring with him. He makes $10 million.
Maybe he was going for a, some kind of an early stroll or something.
And you know that gun they used? I bet there's no serial number on it.
God, that's crazy. I don't know about that. That's a tough one. It's possible.
People do stuff. People do crazy stuff, man.
Yeah.
Like, I guess that's his way of committing suicide without losing the the bennies.
Exactly.
He was in trouble, too, with insider trading. But what's that really going to do? They're just going to...
Well, ask Nancy Pelosi. She'll tell you.
Yeah.
Why do I always like the favorite?
See, and I think somebody knew his routine, knew where he was going to be. That's why they picked that time. No, I mean somebody who knew him intimately, somebody who
knew his schedule,
like
right?
Could
have been. Be like, all right, yeah, we know he's leaving. Yeah.
Oh wait, someone that he works with me.
Yeah.
Maybe someone who was there with him. Hey, he just left to go get coffee.
Yeah.
It's great.
Because they knew he was gonna testify, and they couldn't trust him.
I think those bullets with the inscription. I think that red herrings. Who takes bullets?
Those are here. Here, look over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
Although I heard that guy's mentioned in that book that those bullet. Yeah.
Live from Studio 6B, 30 minutes past the hour on a Friday night. Slick's doing sports. Delgado's here. Kevin Downey Jr., Aaron DeFran holding it down. Harry on the highway was in the building. I don't know if he still is. Oh, he still is.
Harry.
Okay, Harry on the highway still in the building.
You should got Harry in on the picks.
He's still
Harry's good at picking.
somewhere.
Yeah, Harry could pick. He's got the Yankees in game 1, Islanders in game 2. All right, it's time Friday night. 9:30 means only one thing, and it's time to do a week 14 in the NFL. Odds makers. All right, here we go. Set the table. Week 14 in the NFL. Week 15 in college football. Of course, you got your conference championship games this weekend. Let's go over the records, Aaron, if we have them, or Slick has them, whoever has them. Where do we stand right now? Aaron, you have them?
Yes, I do. All right, so right now, I am 37-28.
37-28, 9 games above 500 for Aaron. Clearly in a comfortable lead right now.
All right, it's very good.
Slickster?
Slick is 31-34.
Okay.
31-34.
He's coming back.
Slick is climbing to try to get air above the waterline here. He's 3 games below still. Okay, and then the audience is
16 and 30.
16 and 30.
And wait, there's more.
And we have no audience member this week. So sitting in for the audience will be one Rick Delgado and Kevin Downey Jr. teaming up. Good luck to the audience.
With an assist pick from Harry Oates.
Slickster, let's kick it off. Game 1. Where are we going?
1 o'clock, Big D. I love those games right after brunch and lunch. We're going to go to Acrisure Stadium. Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. That'd be the 9-3 Steelers, and then you could just flip those records and have the 3-9 Cleveland Browns. They've had a bit of a tough year, Cleveland. I think they're a better team than their record shows, but I think the Steelers are going to take care of business, win that game. They're a 6.5-point favorite. The Steelers is
7.
what I have. 7. Oh, Lord, I got to give a darn touchdown. Well, it's too hard to change my pick midstream. I have 6.5, but you say 7. I always defer to you, Big.
7
you are the man.
is the line.
So 7. There'll be no snow job this time around, where Cleveland did beat Pittsburgh last time in the snow-filled stadium there at whatever bank they're named after, Huntington Bank Stadium, whatever they call it these days. It's going to be a Blitzburg in Pittsburgh, and Jameis Winston, he's going to get smoked in that game. That's a wrap there, Big D.
Pittsburgh -7. Slickster's game number 1. Aaron, what's your game number 1?
College. I'm going to college for game number 1. I'm going to take Oregon over Penn State. I have 3.5 for that line. I don't know if it's moved.
Oregon -3 over Penn State. Oregon undefeated, 12-0. The unanimous number 1. Penn State ranked 3rd at 11-1. 8 o'clock on Saturday night. Oregon -3. You have who?
I'm going to take Oregon in this game. I think they're just going to continue to roll. Their offensive attack this season has been elite. They're 13th in the nation in passing yards per game with 277.6. And we've seen good stuff from Penn State. Their defense has been pretty good, but they have not been consistent. And I think that's going to be the deal breaker in this game. I think Oregon's just going to roll.
All right, James Franklin and the boys coming in, looking to pull the big upset, but Oregon -3 it is for Aaron. All right, Rick Delgado representing the audience, you and KDJ as a team. What's your game number 1?
All right, well, first I just want to say big fan, first time, long time. Thanks for having us on. Let's see. My first game, I'm going to go back to college. I'm going to 8 o'clock Saturday night, where you're going to see Clemson roll over to SMU and get spanked by the SMU Mustangs. The SMU Mustangs, I like them. It reminds me of the heyday back in the 80s. I remember ABC Sports on Saturday always talking about the SMU Mustangs.
Oh, yeah, Eric Dickerson back in the day with the SMU.
And they're currently 11-1, and I think they're going to go to 12-1, and I think the line is 2.5.
It is 2.5.
Yep. So I'm going. The audience was going with the Mustangs.
SMU's laying. Who's laying?
All right. Of course, this is a neutral field game. SMU laying 2.5. Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. All right. So the audience, who is represented now by Rick Delgado and Kevin Downey Jr. First game is SMU -2.5. Slickster, game number 2.
Okay, you know me, I love to lay chalk, but I got the Vikings, Big D, hosting the Atlanta Falcons.
Minnesota -5.5, 10-2. Atlanta 6-6. What do you got here?
I'm going with the Vikings. I like, obviously I like purple, of course, but I like Sam Darnold and the crew. I think they're going to look good. I think Jefferson gets unleashed. Vikings have had a couple of rough weeks, but they're 10-2. Falcons, they're fighting for their playoff lives. I expect them to give a good, tough fight in the first half, but Bijan Robinson and Kirk Cousins, they're not going to get it done. Kirk Cousins might as well phone his aunts and uncles. He's not winning that game. I'm taking the Vikings laying the 5.5.
All right, Minnesota -5.5 for Slick in game number 2. Aaron, where are you going for game number 2?
I'm going to go back to that Browns and Steelers game. I'm going to take the Browns here. I really think, obviously we know they're out of playoff contention, but they do play well in divisional games. They beat the Ravens earlier this season. They beat the Steelers earlier this season. And the Steelers last week gave up 38 points to the Bengals, and George Pickens is right now questionable with a hamstring injury, and that's going to make a huge impact on the game if he does not play. So I think Winston may keep it close. They may not win, but they will cover.
All right, Cleveland +7 going against the Slickster there. I like it. Kevin Downey Jr. representing the audience along with Rick Delgado. What's game number 2 for you guys?
Game number 2, I'm going to go Miami over Ohio. They're playing in Detroit, and I'm going to tell you right now, Miami's going to beat them because, Ohio, they're just horrible teams. They all lose, and it's going to be on my turf. So I want to see everyone from Ohio. Miami's actually from Ohio. I'd love to see them a tie. I want to see a tie because I don't want any of these teams to win.
Well, Well, Miami of Ohio is minus 2.5 over Ohio. So you're going with Miami of Ohio minus 2.5.
Oh, they're going to tie.
Well, 2.5, they can't tie.
Okay, then I'm going to go Miami. But,
you think the game's going to be a tie? It can't be a tie. So who's going to win the game?
Miami.
Miami's going to win by how much?
They're going to win by 7.
Okay, so you've got Miami of Ohio.
Okay.
All right, there you go. There's your game number 2. Good luck to the audience. All right, let's go game number 3. Slickster, what do you got?
Boy, a dear friend of mine is actually a professor at Ohio. It's so funny. Let's go. I'm going to go to Buffalo Bills, Big D. But we're going to SoFi, I should say. Hopefully they enjoy the nice weather. They're used to playing in snowstorms, so they might be a little shell-shocked when they actually play in a nice, semi-enclosed arena. But I like the Bills. I think they're going to roll. Right now, for me, the Buffalo Bills are the best team, I'm going to say, in the NFL after what I saw out of Detroit last night. I like Josh Allen at 10-2, Big D. I think the Bills, 3.5-point favorite. It is a little tempting over the Rams. Rams are 6-6, also fighting for a wild card position. But I just don't think Matthew Stafford, even with Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, fantastic receivers. I love to have them both on my team, especially on my fantasy team. But I really like Buffalo to continue their run, even though they have clinched the NFC East. Now they're going for home field because they sure as heck don't want to go to Kansas City come January. So give me the Bills minus 3.5.
All right, Bills minus 3.5 on the road. Road favorites there for Slickster. Aaron, game number 3.
Game number 3, I'm going to take the Panthers over the Eagles. I believe that line is 13.
13.5. Philly minus 13.5. So you're taking the points with Carolina?
Yes, I am. I just think the line is a little too big for how well the Panthers have been playing recently. We saw them almost upset the Chiefs. They just barely lost to the Bucs, and they're not giving up on their season clearly. And I think the Eagles are already overlooking this game because they're playing the Steelers next week, and every game to the end of the season are divisional matchups. Ooh, so I think they're overlooking this game.
Look ahead.
And they're going to play down to their competition just a little bit. They're probably going to win by a touchdown and a field goal. They're probably going to win by 10, but they're not going to win by 14.
That's a good pick.
Okay, that's
like
great analysis.
Yeah,
look ahead spot here for the Eagles, looking at what's coming next. I like that analysis a lot.
Yep.
Carolina plus 13.5 for Aaron, game number 3. All right, game number 4. Game number 3 for the audience. Rick Delgado, what do you got?
Okay, so I'm going to go back to the Vikings and Falcons game.
Okay.
I know Slick took the Vikings because he likes the color purple, and it's 5.5, right?
Yes.
All right, well, I think it's a little bit of a homecoming for Kirk Cousins. I think he's going to actually, he'll even run for a yard, and he'll have 1 yard of rushing to go along with his 21 rushes. So that'll be great. I think he's going to have a big game. I think it's personal for him. And I think they're going to be very pumped up to throw the Vikings around their own home.
All right, so you're taking 5.5 with Atlanta. Okay, very good. Atlanta plus 5.5 over Minnesota for the audience. Game number 3. Final game of the odds maker. Slickster, we'll kick it off with you. Where are we going?
I can never turn down a good primetime game Sunday night, Big D. I love picking the game because it gives me a reason to watch it, of course. And we got the Chargers and the Chiefs. Now, the Chiefs have been underachievers. They've had a tough time covering. They seem like they're just getting out of Dodge, kicking field goals the last second, and I think they're primed for an upset, which means what? I'm going to take them. I'm going to take the Chiefs. I'm going to lay the 4.
Minus 4.
I'm taking the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are right there with the Bills. Listen, you might as well end the season now. We already know who's going to be in. It's going to be definitely going to be the Chiefs. Definitely going to be the Bills. That's your NFC East championship game. They go through all this. AFC championship, right? They go through all this craziness, and then you'll probably have most NFC not as locked in right now. I'm liking Detroit. Green Bay played a hell of a game last night, so it's going to be either Green Bay or Philly that's going to be in that NFC Championship game, in my opinion.
All right, but for this game, you got Kansas City minus 4.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Aaron, where are you going for game number 4?
I'm going to go to the Cardinals game. They're playing the Seahawks, and I'm going to take the Cardinals over the Seahawks. I think that's 2.5.
2.5, yep.
All right, yep, I'm going to take the Cardinals. I think they're the more desperate team going into this game at 6-6. They're trying to take the NFC West, and the Cardinals are second in the league right now in rushing against the 23rd ranked Seattle run defense, and the Seattle defense is not great in the red zone either. Not that the Cardinals are much better, but I still think that's a good matchup either way, and I think that the Cardinals are going to find a way to pull out all the stops and win this game at home. They're the desperate ones, and they're going to take it home.
All right, Arizona minus 2.5 over Seattle for Aaron, game number 4. Last and final game representing the audience is Kevin Downey Jr. What do we got, KDJ?
Thank you, Big D. I'm going to take the Raiders over the Buccaneers. because Raiders fans are thugs. They're animals. They're like Islander fans, but with knives. They're horrible people, but they really hate to lose to a team that looks like a bunch of pirates. So there's the analysis everyone's waiting for.
I mean,
if only they show up with those sweaters.
I mean, that is the analysis that everyone has waited for right there.
They are pirates.
Las Vegas plus 6.5 over Tampa Bay for game number 4 for the audience.
Oh, wow.
What do you think of your partner's analysis, Delgado?
I love it. It's right in line with, I think, with the way the audience thinks.
It's the Raiders of the Lost Bark over here.
All right, there you go. There's an odds makers for a week 14.
Good. That was in depth.
All right,
That was
very good.
Very.
Yeah, from Aaron.
I mean, Aaron sounds like she should be on. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
that was boring.
She's doing colonoscopy analysis.
Sabrina went to HSN. Where is she? QVC or HSN? Aaron should end up on Pardon My Take or something here.
Yeah.
Isn't Dummy there who loves your team looking for someone else to spar with now? He's gone from what's his name?
Who? Irvin?
You know, the guy who was across from Shannon Sharp. Your friend who loves the Cowboys.
Oh, yeah.
Over there.
What's his name?
What's his name? The guy who runs that outfit over.
Come on, Slickster. What's his name?
I forget.
I can't remember either. Loves the Cowboys.
I know you're talking.
He needs someone to spar with these days. Aaron, I think, should maybe. Well, no, I don't want Aaron to leave us. So what am I saying?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Trying to get rid of me.
Well, no one's listening, Aaron. From what's his name? Of course, I can't think of it, and Slick can't think of it. We're so old; it's just ridiculous.
That's the problem. No, I'm drawing, and I know who it is. We're gonna say who.
Skip Bayless.
Skip Bayless.
Oh,
Skip Bayless. Yep, he wrote a book.
Terrible.
Everything. Yeah, he is terrible.
Skip Bayless.
Yeah, he's out of commission now. He doesn't do anything.
Aaron, you should just pants that guy and take the spot.
Okay, we'll see how that goes.
All right, there's an odds makers for a week 14. Man, I can't believe the season's almost over.
It's crazy.
All right, we'll wrap it up. More news, sports when we get back. Well, no more sports, but news when we get back with Kevin Downey Jr. and Rick Delgado right after this.
Has been good too.
I saw another super chat. Was it Child of the King again?
Yep, 47.
Damon, you need to take the show on the ocean. At Moon Pie, she suggests that we go on a cruise.
Oh my gosh.
You mean like
be quiet, Aaron?
You mean like the Edmund Fitzgerald?
Aaron's yelling yes in the control.
That's exactly. It would be the Titanic, Edmund Fitzgerald, and you'd be sitting in the front of the boat, a white shade of pale. Don't gotta be a white shade of pale. Oh my God.
What?
Harry will fire up the old 6-speed dinghy and get us all out the sound.
Yeah,
if we can.
It's about the budget we have.
Let's find a boat that has a. If we have a boat that we could do the show on and has miniature golf, then we can do all the things we've wanted to do for 4 years in one compact place.
Wouldn't that be great?
Rav open, we'll just hit the ball through the elephant's mouth instead of going on a course.
Gilligan's Island already. Forget about it. Could you imagine? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it'll be a 3-hour tour. Wonderful.
Oh God.
We'll go missing and no one will come looking for us.
Nope.
How's my Gordon Lightfoot impression? I think it's pretty spot on.
Yeah, it's starting to scare me.
Thank you.
That song always.
Thank you.
Exactly. Very good.
I don't know any of the words clearly, but
exactly. You know, Gitchy Gumi there.
Yeah. Superior is said never gives up down his guns when the gales of November come early.
I just love it.
The legend lives on from the Chippewa on down to the Bingley.
That's
My dad would be proud. We listened to enough of it growing up. Him playing the guitar.
You know how many people are doing a Gordon Lightfoot impression?
Walking around the house
There's
right now.
one.
Right? They would have made Whitefish Bay if they put 15 miles before it. Yeah, it was. I mean, the lyrics in there. I mean, the way he rhymed those lyrics were just stunning. I mean, that is one of the best written songs probably ever.
He's rhyming words no one's ever rhymed.
Right? In a musty old hall in Detroit, they sing.
Yeah.
Right? And all that's left is the faces and the sons, the wives, and the daughters.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And he rhymes that with, I think, water.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man. Church bell, it rang 29 times. Yeah. For each man on the Edmund Fitzgerald. Wow.
Everyone's saying we need to decorate the set for Christmas.
Oh,
we should.
Okay, Aaron's doing it on Monday. Listen, Aaron's got it under control.
There you go.
We just need to stay the heck out of the way.
That's usually how it works anyway.
Harry is
Harry got the decorations out?
Man.
Oh, geez.
God.
Uh, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B. Aaron, a lot of people in the chat are saying that we need to decorate the studio for Christmas. What do you think about that?
I am already doing it on Monday.
Okay. Aaron's going to do it on Monday. She's on it. She just wants us to stay the heck out of her way, which, as Fran said in the break, that's normally what happens anyways.
And who bought the decorations?
Aaron and Fran. So, do we have decorations?
Yeah, I bought the decorations last year. I have all the stockings that I put up on the back wall. I'll do that again. I have
I don't
lights.
remember that.
And some. You don't remember that?
Okay. Did anyone else have any hand in any of the decorations, or did you choose everything?
I chose everything.
Thank God.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Now, it's not any of the stuff we see in front of us over here that Harry cleaned up from the closet.
No, it looks like we're doing a garage sale.
Yeah.
Harry's got
the upside down tripod. I don't think you that pass for a Christmas
a Peter Cottontail disguised as Frosty the Snowman.
Nothing says Christmas like the trays from an old Arizona cooler from Arizona tea.
I can see it now.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
There's too much going on.
Dreidel.
All right, let's do some more
Harry
news before I
doesn't
lose it.
pay.
I can't get it back together here.
Yes, I will decorate on Monday. It'll be all Christmas.
Decorations.
Dreidel. Harry doesn't pay.
Time for Christmas. It's time to decorate. And it's going to be done by our Aaron.
All right, let's do the news here.
Yes.
The man with his phone, Rick Delgado's got it. What's going on, Delgado?
Well, this was a story I was going to jump in. We kind of touched on it a little bit with more theories on this United Healthcare CEO, Brian Thompson. Believe it or not, according to Johnny Midnight on the X, it says here, according to this from The Independent, he was facing a DOJ probe for, wait for it, insider trading.
Yes.
On February 21st of 2024, United Healthcare discovered a cyber breach. On the same day, Nancy Pelosi made her second purchase of call options in Palo Alto Networks, a cybersecurity company. A little strange that those things are connected, but we'll see what happens. Also, Alan Dershowitz also chimed in on the shooting and the assassination of Brian Thompson, the United Healthcare CEO. Here he is talking about it. Cut number 8. Check out what he has to say.
I have a theory about why this CEO was killed. Remember, there's information that there was an investigation about insider trading. And if he was being investigated, there were people out there who would be afraid he would flip and turn against them. And so I think they have to investigate the possibility that somebody who he might have testified against had him killed to prevent him from being from testifying. Also, whoever killed him knew where he was going, knew he was going at 6:40 in the morning, knew it was well before the events began. So I think the investigation has to look inward to the company to see who was under investigation and who this guy might have flipped again.
Yeah. So there you have it from Alan Dershowitz, the main suspect of gunning down of the United Healthcare CEO, was seen at Port Authority, the bus facility, and boarded a bus out of New York City following the shooting. According to police, the unidentified man remains at large in the wake of Wednesday's attack, which was described by police as brazen, targeted, and premeditated. The FBI is assisting in a nationwide manhunt for the suspect, according to law enforcement sources. The bus the suspect is believed to have boarded out of the city made 6 or 7 stops, and investigators have followed leads in multiple states. The sources said. So not only do they have a pretty good picture as to the route he went and the 6 or 7 stops he may have departed on, but there's going to be video cameras in all those places. They're going to find this. I pretty much, I'm not going to guarantee it. I feel like I should, but I won't. I think by the end of the weekend, he will be in police custody if they don't find him expired by what looks like 2 or 3 self-inflicted gunshot wounds to the head.
Yeah, okay. You said 2 or 3. That's what I'm thinking, too.
Yeah.
You might have some help.
So there you have it with that. And let's see. Oh, we were talking about also the Biden pardons, which is still a topic of conversation for many, including Rachel Maddow, who had this to say. We juxtaposed this between I believe it was Mays Moore that put it together, between what she said about Donald Trump and his pardons and Joe Biden and his pardons.
This has got to be great.
This is cut number 1. Here's Rachel Maddow comparing the two. Check them out.
President Trump, as he winds down his last few weeks in office, is considering preemptive pardons for all his adult children, including his son-in-law, Jared.
Oh.
What a mess. More as we know. Cue all the hand-wringing and gnashing of teeth today about a president using his power, his pardon power, his powers as president, to do something for a family member. Tell me more about how outraged we all are about President Biden's pardon for his son.
Yeah.
And cut. The greatest actress ever on network TV. There you go.
That was. And you know what's interesting too is that we were throwing around names that we thought might be getting pardons that had like the Faucis and the Alejandro Mayorkas, all the Biden people. But here's one. Here's a reaction from Adam Schiff. I don't think anybody was expecting. This is cut number 9 about the Biden pardons. Check this out.
But can I just ask you about the presidential pardons? Do you think a preemptive pardon for you is warranted?
I've spoken on this before. I don't think the idea of a blanket pardon of some kind is a good idea, and I would recommend against it.
Even for yourself, have you communicated this to the White House?
I've communicated it publicly multiple times.
Yeah, he already knows he's getting one. That's why he's saying that.
Either that, or
that's the only reason.
Either that, or he's not getting one, which is why he's like, I don't think it's a good idea.
No way. I didn't trust that guy as far as I could throw him. Oh. He already knows he's getting one.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. Think that guy would say that? He would. Please.
All right.
That guy's like when you go into the woods and you lift up like a branch that's been there for like a long time. All the
maggots.
What do you find underneath? That's him.
Schmegma and maggots.
All right, very good. Delgado, Kevin Downey Jr., last couple thoughts from you. What else is going on?
I got this from the Charlevoix, Michigan town crier. I shall read my broadcaster's voice.
Oh, good.
The legend lives on from the Chippewa on down. Of the big lake they call Gitchagumi. No, here we go. You know what? Let's do something fun. Check this out. Florida man. This comes from my friend Stephen Green at pjmedia.com. Florida man broke into someone's house naked from the waist down, and the homeowner heard him and grabbed his gun and said, well, this is going to be bad. Turns out the guy was holding carpet cleaner and was going to town trying to clean this man's carpet. And he says, get out of here. So the man drops it and he leaves and he calls the cops. This is Alexander Smith. He's 23. He kicked the door in. And so the cops, he left. And they said, what's the guy look like? And the homeowner said, he'll be the guy with the shirt and no pants. And half a block away, they found the man who broke into a house. Wow. And he said, it's not my fault. And I quote.
Talk about cracking a case.
He goes, it's not my fault, I swear. I'm high on methamphetamine.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
And he just wanted to clean the carpet.
You know what? That's good.
They said, "Man, this guy's nuts."
Yeah,
exactly.
It could have been worse. He could have come in with a knife. I'm going to cut you up, but I'm going to clean your rug.
Wow. Talk about tongue in cheek.
I'm here to clean your rug.
Yeah. Get up, back up there. We got that.
Oh my God!
What a close to the week.
Well, there you go. All right. I want to thank everybody who was on this week. Of course, Kevin Downey Jr. last couple nights. Paul Nolan couple nights this week. Of course, Slick, we're praying for you, praying for Dad, praying for the family. Rick Delgado, Aaron, Fran, Harry on the Highway, everybody that's been a part of the show this week. And we salute, of course, all our military, all our emergency personnel, everybody that keeps us safe. Have a great weekend, everybody. And we will see you back here Monday night, live from Studio 6B. Have a great weekend.